We had a chance to visit with the Hearts captains leading into this football season. One of the captains is Zach Wilson. And Zach, tell us a little bit about who you are, what position you'll be playing, and what year in school you are, the basics.
Yeah, I'm a senior, and I'm going to be an offensive lineman, mostly either guard or tackle, whichever one Mac really needs me at. And I don't know, not really anything else.
When you talk about the O-line, you talk about guys that often are unsung heroes. But
Yes.
I think the quarterback and the running backs understand that you guys have a valuable purpose. Talk about what you do on the O-line.
Well, our basic objective is to make sure Kevin, quarterback, does not get hit, because if he does, then let's just say that's a really bad rep for us, because we're the ones that let the guys pass to, like, hit him. So he's like, my dad describes him as a prom date almost. It's like, that's his ideology of, like, 1980s or whatever. It's like, he's like, you protect him at all costs, and that's one thing. And our running backs, we always have to open holes for them, and we do try as hard as we can. It's a tough job, though.
Yeah, it's probably not fair, but I guess you guys don't really get noticed unless something goes wrong.
Yeah, that's one bad thing about line is if something's really going good, it's all about the receivers, but if something goes bad, then it's all like, oh, the line can't block, and it's just, we can take it, though. It's good criticism.
What do you like most about football?
It just gets you ready for life, I guess. That's one thing. It's like, you have to work hard at stuff. You don't always get what you want. Life beats you down. Some football teams do beat us down, but we always get back up. So it's a good, like, life coach sort of thing. That's why I see it as and just a good way to get out and get active.
I have had many football players tell me that a good football team is like a family.
Yes, yeah, I do feel that sometimes, like near the very end of the season, after so many games, we just feel like we are brothers pretty much. It's like we are a family afterwards, because we've been through so much during we didn't have double days this season because of IHSA rules, but it just feels like through all the practices and all the heat, which we have now, and all like the turmoil, all the conditioning, all the lifting, just after everything's gone through, we just do feel, I think, like a big old family.
I'd be remiss if I didn't give Zach an opportunity to talk about the season. What do you think the future holds for us?
Well, we have Breeze Mater Dei as our first game, which we always know is tough guys. We've always had them for as long as I remember, so if we don't do good against them, I think we'll still be able to scrap a good season against them. I really do think we'll go a positive season instead of the 2-7 last year. But if we have a very, very, very good game against them, I think we'll most likely go back to playoffs. It just all depends on how that first game goes.
As much as you know for sure, what do you think the future holds for Zach Wilson, say post-high school?
Go on to college, get into a field in medicine possibly. Just, I don't know. I don't really plan on playing football after high school, but if I get an opportunity, I will. But it's just regular old college life for me, probably.
All the best to you. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
You bet. That's Zach Wilson of the Effingham Hearts. We had an opportunity to talk with the Hearts captains heading into the football season this Friday night against Breeze Mater Dei. Kai Harmon is one of the captains. The captains were announced the other day. And Kai, what does that mean to you to be named one of the captains?
Well, it's a really good feeling knowing that your team feels that you can hold that position and be a leader on your team, because the team did vote on it, and it's just a really good feeling knowing that they trust you with that position.
What do you think as far as the season? How are we going to do?
I feel like it's going to be a very good season, because we've worked so hard in the off season and over the summer and lifting and everything along those lines, and we've had such great attendance, and just everybody seems to be doing their part and working hard. It's the best that I've seen it since I've been in high school.
Very good. I should ask, how are you physically? Feeling good?
Oh, I feel great, because I did have the injury last year where I tore my MCL, but it hasn't bugged me at all. I've actually gotten to the point where I don't have to wear my brace or anything. I probably will this year during games especially, but I've gotten to the point where everything is A-okay.
Very good. Talk, if you would, about where we'll see you on the football field.
Well, I'll be playing offensive tackle and defensive tackle some this year. So I'll just be on both sides of the line.
Tell me, what's the difference? Obviously, there are differences playing O-line and defense. Talk about the differences.
Well, on offense, you've got a lot riding on your shoulders. You might not get all the glory, but it's a very important position over there, and we have a great backfield behind us with Kevin playing quarterback, and all our running backs look great this year. So they make our job a lot easier being good back there. So I think offense, the biggest thing is we've just got to make them holes and they will hit them, and we'll have a good year on offense. And then on defense, we've got a lot of depth. We've got a lot of people going in and out because we do have people playing both ways. So I think the defense will be online, at least. It'll be going through and just getting our job done so that our linebackers and all the backfield back there they'll do their job because they look great this year too. So I feel like everything just seems to be falling in place.
Touched on a couple of things. One's depth, and one is the fact that you guys are in good condition. That off-season really paid off. Talk about what that means at the end of a game, because Coach Mack and I have talked about that through the years, about the fact that Effingham wins games late because they still have their health and their stamina.
Yes, well, we've gone through this off-season, and over the summer we got up early and we ran, and they ran us a ton. And I feel like, especially even in the Buck Bowl, I feel like everybody seemed to still keep their composure and stay together throughout it, even with the normal third quarter instead of the 10-minute continuous clock. But we all kept it together, and it seemed like everybody just seemed to keep doing their job there in that last quarter of that. And I feel like that's going to be huge for us this year, because we don't really have a huge team and big size other than Evan. And well, I just feel like we'll have it together there in the end, whether that means, because even going into the half down a touchdown or two doesn't mean anything with the conditioning that we've had this year. So I feel like it'll really help a lot in the second half.
Kai, thanks for the visit. All the best to you.
Thanks.
It's Kai Harmon, one of the Hearts captains.
I'm Matt Woltman. I'm a senior, and I'm on defense. I'm a defensive back. And on offense, I'm a receiver who won spread offense, and then when we tighten it up, I'm a tight end. So.
The way that things developed over the course of last season, Matt ended up playing a lot more than he did, well, at the end of the season, a lot more than he did at the start of the season. And various circumstances, injuries and things, led to that opportunity for him. How do you think that's going to help you, though, this season?
It'll give me a lot more experience, because I played some JV football last year and some varsity football, and the speed and the strength is just two completely different games. So he gives me a little bit of experience, and I know what to expect coming into varsity games this year.
Talk a little bit about what you see as the strengths of this Hearts football team.
Well, we have really good position players this year. We have a good quarterback who can throw, and then we have a big, strong lineman who can block for us. So we have the complete package if we can just put it all together this year.
A lot of people never played football. They come and root for their grandkids or whatever, and they might not know what goes on. We tell them you play a certain position, but what goes on at the positions you play?
Well, whenever I'm a receiver, I'm just catching passes, doing whatever I can to get open for Kevin, and if you're open, he'll usually hit you. And then on defense, I have an advantage because I also play receiver on offense. On defense, I'm covering receivers, so I kind of have an idea of what they're going to do, and it helps me out a lot on the defensive side of the ball. So.
Matt, talk about what you think as far as hopes for this season, what we might see out of this Hearts team.
I have high hopes for this season because of the work that everybody put in all summer. We had great attendance, not only this summer, but this spring too. Everybody was coming in and lifting, and we had good numbers the whole time, and everybody was showing up early to run and lift, like Kai said. So everybody's been putting in plenty of work, so now it's just time to get it done.
What does it mean to you to have been chosen as one of the captains of this club?
It means a lot, especially just since I haven't played all 4 years, that the guys have that much confidence in me to step up and take a leadership role like that they look up to me and expect good things out of me. So I'm excited to show them what I can do.
Very good. Matt, we appreciate the visit. All the best to you.
Thank you.
We had an opportunity to visit with Tim Ahillen, who's one of the captains of this Effingham High School football team. And Tim, talk a little bit about what you'll do for this football team, what positions you'll be utilized at.
I'll be playing offensive line, offensive tackle, and also defense. I can play linebacker and D-end and stuff. So
good. You feeling good, healthy? It's good to hear.
100%.
Good.
100%.
Glad to know that. Depth is something that should be a strength of this team this year?
I think most of our skill positions were pretty depth, and defense we have a lot of depth, but our O-line, we just need to stay strong because we don't have the numbers at O-line, but if we keep strong, we'll be all right.
It is a season that Effingham looks to have a lot of success. Nobody really enjoyed last season as far as wins and losses, and I know that's what people measure it by. But looking to that for some inspiration for this year, how do you think that maybe even having a tough year last year might help this year's club?
Kind of drives the players last year that played because, 2-7 season, that's not how we want to be labeled at our senior season or even the juniors. We just want to put a good season for the fans that come out and support us. So,
talk about what it is that you like best about football.
I just love getting on the field, being with my teammates, that first of the game, the adrenaline rush, everything, being out there. It's just awesome.
Talk about your plans once you're out of high school.
Go to college. Football, I don't know if it's in my future, but if it is, that's great because I love it. But college, and from there on, just life take me on the road.
I know it's big for people to get a big crowd here on Friday night.
Yeah.
I know you'd love to have a big crowd here.
Oh yeah, definitely. It means a lot for the fans to be out for us to watch us play and stuff.
Very good. Tim, all the best to you. Thank you for the
you.
visit. You bet. That's Tim Ahill, and he's one of the captains of this Effingham High School football team. And first game Friday night against Breeze Mater Day, 7 o'clock at Klosterman Field.